Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the tezos-artcast. This is episode number 31. It's November, mid-November already. NFT Raider already in the chat. What's up? Dedicated, my man. This is tezos-artcast, where we explore art, music, and games that are being developed around the Tezos ecosystem of NFTs and blockchain stuff. So mostly the focus is on the art and the music, though, because that's where it's at. That's the heart and soul. One of our artist guests, Thor, he said that the blockchain was kind of the cold structure that held things together, and that the NFTs are the color and the lifeblood of the blockchain that make it what it is, a place for people. Anyway, so we're excited to have you all here. Thank you for tuning in or watching this later on. And yeah, it's been quite a week in the Tezos community ecosystem, whatever you want to refer to it as, community. A lot of stuff happened. It was like a crazy couple of days, and yeah, it was crazy to say the least. So to sum things up, Hicket Nunk was declared dead after the lead developer kind of canceled everything. The interface went down to the website, and the Twitter page said discontinued for Hicket Nunk, and the world exploded. At least in the Hicket Nunk community and artist world. And a lot of things happened. I don't care to go into all of them at this point. It's not really what this show is about, but it would be hard not to talk a little bit about it. But my short take on everything is, overall, community developers, community advocates, people who've been working behind the scenes or out in front for a long time, eventually got together. And by eventually, I mean like overnight, because this was like literally within a day and a half. The Hicket Nunk site came back online, only with a little amendment to the XYZ. So it's hicketnunk.art. It is not being run by the developer that was at the forefront of it to begin with. And so there's still some things to be worked out, obviously, but nonetheless, your art is safe, and most of the most things are, for the average user, are worked out, and we can kind of digest everything that's happened. So Hicketnunk is not dead. Hicketnunk has just transitioned into a new life. And this is kind of, I think one of the big takeaways was the kind of this Web3 decentralized nature of these platforms, and being able to not have a single point of failure, and being able to be recovered even if the person who's running the front end of the website decides to call it quits. There's if it hadn't been open sourced, this wouldn't have been possible. So big ups to open sourcing this code in the beginning and keeping it open sourced, but also being able to take the Tezos blockchain part of it and having those open source kind of APIs, or the stuff running in the background, was able to be relinked to a new front end website. So that's the blockchain functioning as it should, which is immutable, uneditable. It's always there. So when we're posting our NFTs, they are connected to something that one person or one entity can't just take out completely. There's a lot of nuances to that, and it's a little more complicated than that, I'm sure. But it was a big thing for, I think, the community to see that, just because somebody throws a switch, all the things that we've worked towards and all the relationships we've developed, for a lot of people, the income that is being generated isn't just done. So that's cool. I think that's a big win. So things got a little hairy, and there were some, if you were at all in any of the Discord rooms or any of the server rooms, it was, man, it was wild. So it's good to be starting a new week. Monday, Tuesday, now Wednesday, here we are. I'm looking at art on Hicketnunk again. And I was also glad to be able to kind of go back to, with Hicketnunk being down, I definitely got into exploring a little more Calumet, and some of the other platforms that maybe I don't peruse enough of, because I've got such an affinity towards the layout of pen and objects. So anyway, yeah, we're all still here. And I think even if, Hicketnunk hadn't recovered in the way that it did as a community, I think we've built something really cool and strong with just the relationships we built. So yeah, something else would have happened, but I think this is all good. Anyway, whatever. I'm no expert. Just a casual user enjoying the community, enjoying the art and music and the games. So there's a lot of milestones to happen in like 1 year. So this is wild. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm stoked today. We've always had such great guests, and this week is no exception. I'm really stoked to welcome in our guest today. He's got some fantastic music, some amazing visuals, awesome art, interactive video components, all kinds of good stuff. So I'm stoked to get to talk to this gentleman here. So if you could just welcome, with a round of applause that we won't be able to hear, Purz. What's up, dude?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the Tezos-Artcast.
Right on.
Awesome, man. Yes. How's your day going so far?
Great. Slept in, which was awesome, and drinking some coffee.
That's always good. And you said it's a little rainy out there.
Yeah, it's not raining, but it's rainy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Little gloomy, a little wet.
Mm-hmm. A little wet.
That's the perfect atmosphere for coffee. We could use some of that here. I mean, we're spoiled. I know we're spoiled with as much sun as we get, so we're like, you know, if it rains, you'll see like people out on their patio, like being like, oh, rain, thank goodness.
Not the same
So,
reaction here.
Yeah, right. It's like the opposite, probably, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you located?
I'm in Toronto,
Toronto. Yes.
Canada.
Awesome. Yeah, I've always wanted to go there. I have some family in Perth, Ontario,
Okay.
outside of Ottawa. So I visited once, and it was gorgeous. It was summertime, which I'm sure helps, and
Yeah.
the weather was very nice while we were there. I think we got lucky.
Right on.
That's
awesome.
But yeah, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, you're from Toronto. Obviously, you know, you've got some amazing visuals even in the background and stuff. So have you been in the art and music world for a long time, or you know,
I started as a drummer. I'm been in a bunch of bands and playing for like 20, well, professionally for about 20 years. And I got into like After Effects and trap code and that kind of stuff for making visuals for our live sets. And then started messing around with VJ stuff with Arena for like triggering stuff live and doing some live installations with that. And then the pandemic happened as we were setting up this whole massive, you know, system for touring. And so basically, I just decided, like, you know, I really like 3D stuff. I always did, but it would always mystified me. So I was like, I'll just do a Blender tutorial every day. And I did that for the pandemic and beyond. And yeah, here we are now.
Nice. Wow. So when you say that you were like developing, you would do live triggering for the events. I just like when you said it, it occurred to me that seems like a good setup for a drummer, because you have it set up like as a pad, like in your kit, and then being able to like use that.
Yeah, everything timed to like the tracks, and then we just basically play along with Ableton. And it very cool. I'm stoked to get back to it when the world resets, but for now, you know, I've just focused on the visuals, and we'll come back to music when my band can jam together in the same space safely.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And what kind of music were you guys playing? What genre is kind of your guys' jams?
I have a live hip hop band. We've been playing together in Toronto for a very long time. So that's part of it. And then I also have a prog rock power trio with the bass player from that hip hop group and our other friend. So those are like two like main bands, and then I sub in for a few other bands, and I have my own personal music just under Purz. That's like EDM and hip hop, just everything I like, just mashed together into a soup. ADD, man. I just like to just layer things and you know, throw it all out there.
Hell yeah. What? So I saw in your profile. What is aphantasia?
Oh, aphantasia. I don't have a mind's eye. So if someone asks you to visualize an apple or think about an apple, you see an apple in your mind. I don't see anything. It's just black, total blackness. So
Okay.
I don't have an imagination, so to speak. I have to sort of, my workflow is like I'll make stuff and then iterate and you know, break it and let the idea drive, basically. Like just, you know, follow the tangent until I get to my destination, because I'm not really good at coming up with stuff beforehand or like planning or any of that, because it's all basically just generative. It starts out generative and then it gets curated by a human down into something. So that's my
Gotcha.
approach to art. Yeah.
I remember like coming like right when I was about to graduate high school, I had a class with this guy, and I remember watching him draw like these insane graffiti pieces, and I was really trying to like learn. Like he gave me like a whole alphabet to like study and stuff, like, and I would watch him like, so how are you planning that out? He's like, oh, like I just like see a piece in my head, and then I'm just replicating it. I'm like, I don't even, it made me feel really inadequate. I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess, am I supposed to get to that point? I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
I never can, and it is what it is. Like you can learn how to weaponize your disabilities or your abilities, however you want to call it. Maybe it's like but I know exactly what you mean. Like art class, I can't draw. I can't
right.
draw. It's impossible. That's why I like making this stuff, because it's like it makes me lets me like touch that world. Like I just get to make stuff behind the camera, basically. It's so cool.
Right. Yeah, and it's I think it's just like like you're saying, like a different approach to that creative process. Because I know, like, walking down the street or something, you might see like an oil spill or like an oil spot, and it's there for you to see, so you can see things in it. Or the clouds is the perfect, classic example. Seeing things that are, in the clouds, you're kind of curating it with your mind because you can see it visually and you can reference things, and as opposed to imagining a cloud and drawing the cloud straight, from imagination. So
yeah.
But it almost seemed like, I remember being younger and feeling like that was cheating or something. Like, if I'm going to be an artist, like I have to be able to have that picture in my brain,
And our teachers tell you that too. Not all of them, but all the ones I had were very like, this is how you do it, and if you can't do it, then you shouldn't be in this class. And it's like, okay, thanks.
Right. Yeah. And it's cool that you've got both backgrounds of music and starting to mess around with the visual stuff, because they go so well together. And so did you start drumming from a young age? Like were you drumming
piano, actually?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom made me take piano lessons when I was a kid, and I hated it at first, but now I'm super glad she did, because it just gave me a foundation for everything. And then my mom's friend's kid got a drum kit, and I was just over there every weekend, and it just grew from there.
Nice. And do you prefer drumming, like live drumming, to like programming drums? Do you have an affinity for one versus the other?
Well, it totally depends on the situation. Like if I'm replaying something that I already programmed, I don't really see the point, unless I'm playing with a group of musicians and we're taking it somewhere new. Otherwise, it's like, I'll just play the loop and do something else.
Right.
Well, it's playing, because it sounds perfect, right? Like,
right.
I don't think there's any reason to reinvent the wheel. But that being said, a show where maybe I take a live band and approach all my electronic tunes as like new jams with a new band, yeah, absolutely, I'd love to play live drums for that, because then you get that communication, all that unspoken bond stuff on stage, where stuff just happens because everyone's on the same wavelength. Like you don't get that with programmed stuff when it's playing back. That's a whole other side of music. So I love them both for different reasons, and it just depends on the gig.
Right. I just totally blanked. The coffee just went straight to my brain and blanked me out.
That happens to me all the time.
Okay. I don't feel so. Okay.
No, don't feel bad.
I'll take another sip and see if it jogs my memory. As far as playing live, and what was it? Sorry, I'm tripping now. I'm all blocked up. Oh, good. We've got some new people in the chat. I want to welcome them real quick. Christata24, hello. Try New Media.
I know that
You
guy.
made it in. You made it in.
That guy's a very talented 3D artist, and he's got a couple NFTs out on the DM.
Ooh, nice. We'll have to talk to you later, Try New Media. And later in the show, if you're in the chat and want to drop some stuff for us to explore and look at after our conversation, please do. He says, yeah, you know me. Dabbled in a little. A little more next year. We got to wait a whole year. Oh, it's only a couple months. That's fine.
He's busy. He's a busy man.
Now, how do you juggle kind of what you're doing with NFTs with kind of like your regular day-to-day life, or is it seamlessly integrated?
Yeah, it's all together. A lot of the stuff I've made it. I've already made a lot of the stuff that I'm releasing now, as well as stuff that I'm making and releasing. So I have a whole backlog of stuff that I'm trying to categorize, and I know a lot of people, when they make art, they build a narrative from the beginning and then make the art piece going forward. But I actually like to make something and then try to assign a story to it. Like, I like writing for something that exists. It's really weird. It's like completely backwards to the way most people create. So I'm really enjoying going through my backlog and like trying to build a narrative of a visual story through all this just seemingly random stuff that I created. But I think that's fun too, is sort of just like trying to piecework a narrative together through all this, content. And that's what I'm enjoying about NFTs, is letting me really like categorize and like put things in collections, and then and work the collections and see what people like and see what people don't like, and then we can like build from there. And I like the idea of these collections evolving into things. So it's like, this
Right.
workflow, I just like basically weaponizing workflows. It's my favorite thing to do, is find something to do and then figure out how to build worlds out of it, and then have lots of stuff to work with. I just make a lot of stuff, basically.
Right. Well, no, I think that I think sometimes I've talked to poets who work in that same way, where they might initially kind of freestyle write a whole bunch of garbage, like they're just kind of like mind dumping, and then
Word soup.
Exactly, word soup, going back in and then shortening things, taking things out, molding it.
Totally.
And then once that's done, they'll get a totally different response from people than they even intended. Like, they might have like, oh my gosh, like this is something I didn't know this piece was in here, but here it is. And then they present it and somebody's like, wow, I can't believe that you spoke to exactly what I was saying, 10 years ago or whatever. It's like, oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Calculated.
Yeah. So that's cool to hear that from kind of a visual music perspective too, that it's not just that's just a creative approach.
I think it also stems from the way I make music too, because I'll blah a bunch of crap down and then edit it. Like I'll just jam and jam and jam and jam, and then just start removing, just cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, because like music is what you don't play, but you got to get there somehow, right?
Right. And from that, like, I'd love to hear an example of. I kind of want to take a piece of music, since we just mentioned music, and play something that you made, and then talk about it a little, and then maybe if you could maybe walk us through like one of your series and talk about like how it started out versus how it's been evolving, that would be kind of cool.
Sure.
So let's see here. Let me get. Yep. I thought I had it up. Here we go. Oh, XYZ still. There we go.
Gone.
Three letters. Now it's back. Here we go. So this is audio and visual, and you released this fairly recently, like maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah, a few months ago on Hick It Nunk.
Called All You Gotta Do. This is object 308275 for you out there listening, and I'm gonna blow this up and play it, and then we can talk about it. Is this a cool track for me to play? Are we good with this?
Oh, yeah. No, I love this tune.
I love this tune too. Okay. All right, here we go. Should be playing, but it's not. You're not hearing anything, right?
No, it's not playing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're gonna reset. I'm gonna double check my settings here. Question: if you could answer this while I'm troubleshooting real quick.
Oh yeah.
Try
yeah,
new
sure.
media.
Yeah, I see it. Is Hick online and working still? And are there others that run Tezos based on NFT contracts? So I'd tip out. Yeah. So basically, the person who ran Hick at Nunk, the person who basically started it, he dipped, and so because Hick at Nunk is a decentralized app, it exists on the blockchain, so it's only the URL essentially that has been affected. Everything still exists. It's all on the blockchain, immutable. So it's hickatnunk.art, and then there's a few other mirrors, and there are a few other sites too. But everything is stored on the Tezos blockchain. It's not stored on like Hickatnunk. Like it's not stored on that particular website. That website is just a front end to access a blockchain app called the Hickdex, I believe, and it lives on the blockchain, not on the site. So it'd be really hard to kill Hick at Nunk is essentially what I'm saying.
That's right. Colin Swearingen, hey, what's up? Keep it going. Got a dip. Understood. And thank you, Purz, for that quick rundown. I got it back up. We're good. We're good on the sound now. Yes, Chris Data, you log in the same method as before. Everything like that's the same. All right, here we go. All You Gotta Do from Purz, object 308275. All right.
I told you, I got you, I got you. I told you, I got you, I got you. All you gotta do is hold. I told you, I got you, I got you. I told you, I got you, I got you. It's not too late. I told you, I got you, I got you. I told you, I got you, I got you. All you gotta do is hold. I told you, I got you, I got you. I told you, I got you, I got you. It's not too late. Baby. got you. I told you, I got you. I got you. All you gotta do is hold. I told you, I got you. I got you. I told you, I got you. I got you. It's not too late.
Whew. Rewind.
Auto repeat. Yeah, I love that auto repeat. I bought someone's song on and the other night, and I had it on repeat for like an hour and a half while I was working. Just like I just forgot it was on. Nice ambient piece, and it's just like I was like, yeah, that's nice. I really like that about blockchain music.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've done that for sure. So with something like this, it's like Trying to Media said, like it boggles the mind to see the end product. Like to see this, it just to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, he threw together this awesome track just out of nowhere, and then it's like, boom, I got the idea. Here we go. This is it, and he put it all together. How did this come about from or for real?
So made the beat at my studio with my bass player like 2 or 3 months ago, maybe more. And I just kept thinking it needs a really like my idea for the video was like high budget looking, like cyberpunk, guy on a motorcycle flying down a highway. And I was just thinking the amount of time and effort involved in that. So all I did was I had these animations that I was making in Blender. I've been doing a lot of stuff where I'm slicing textures across checker patterns, like to make pixelated textures that like loop. So this is part of that. A lot of the stuff in this video is from that, like it's just not that one, but the other ones where you can actually see the pixelation and stuff. It's just textures being pulled basically like that, parallax across a checker texture. But the point is, it started making all these sort of like retrofuturistic visuals, and I was thinking of like Alien, like the screens in Alien, from the movie. So I opened up Resolve and threw the track in, like the music, and I just started dropping the textures that I had printed, like these on, and then figured out what ones would look good for the chorus, which ones would look good in the verse, and then I thought just repeating them over and over again as some sort of transmission. It all just built as I was building it, but then I just did some transition effects and then some compositing stuff to make it look like a display from like maybe like an alternate reality, not really a display that we're used to. And that's the concept for a lot of my messy TV looking stuff, is that I'm trying to like just make a display that doesn't exist. Yeah. Like things like that. Just like I can't stop looking at pictures like that. And like the way the displays look on Neon Genesis Evangelion, I think it's called. I'm not a big anime guy, but there's just something about those beautiful neon displays. Yeah. So I just had to do a quick Google search. I'm like, I want a reference image. I have it in my head, but I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Or like the way the thermal camera looks like in a Predator movie or whatever when the helicopter's flying over. They very clearly rendered that on a Commodore in like 1984. I can't get enough of that stuff.
Right, and you can almost hear Mac in the background or something from Predator being like, anytime.
Yeah, super into that stuff.
That's cool. And then and sound wise, I mean, it just you have such like this song in particular, that vocal. How did this song build? Like, was there, did you build from that sample?
Yeah.
Did you find, okay, so that was kind of like the centerpiece inspiration, and you move on from there?
Yeah, I had the drums, and then I had I used a program called Arcade by Output, and it basically it's like a library of loops, but they're all ready to go in key and in time, and you can play them with your keyboard. So that's been a revolutionary thing for me for generating concepts for songs. Like, it's like an inspiration machine. It's beautiful. I love it. It's a subscription thing, but it's well worth it if you don't like making songs right from scratch, which it depends. It depends on your flow. Some people, if you have something to work off of, it's just it's a fire. It just kinetically blows up. So I recommend that kind of thing, or Splice, where you get samples to work from. Anyway, that's another tangent. So I had the vocals running on the drums, and then I ended up loading up a synth, and it was just like the second I hit the thing, it was playing that brow wow wow sound.
Yeah.
Oh, this track's done. So it's like basically just cut it all up, and I was just like, it doesn't have to be more than it is. Doesn't, because I struggled for a long time, and it needs a big drop, it needs a new section, it needs all this stuff, but it doesn't. It's a good experiment for me, and just dropping the line and saying this is done. And then, make a video for it, and then it's done, and move on, because my projects tend to stretch on musically. Like, if I don't finish it,
right,
I'll work on that song for like 5 years, because I'm not in any rush to release it.
right. I think it was cool, actually. It kind of links back to what you were saying about when you mentioned Splice and Arcade. It made me realize that I still have that reservation about music, where if I can't hear it or develop a concept ahead of time, or if I'm using like something out of the library or something that's kind of already there, that it feels like cheating.
Oh yeah, no.
And going back to the earlier part of the conversation, it just must be a self-doubt and pressure to be a certain way to call yourself a musician or an artist.
Oh yeah. Don't sweat that stuff. That stuff means nothing. What matters is if you're playing a show and everyone in the room's having a good time. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Everyone steals from everyone. All my drumming is stolen from other drummers. There's no original ideas. It's arrangements now.
Right.
To a point. The originality now is like pairing. Like I heard this and I heard this, and I knew that they would work together, or I tried this and this and they work together. Like that. That's originality. Like, or there's originality everywhere. Like, it's my advice is don't sweat that stuff. It doesn't matter.
And that's and it's kind of, cocktails are the same way. Like, you've only got so many ingredients in the world, and it comes down to like basic flavors. Cooking, same kind of thing, I guess.
The stuff that works together for a reason.
Yeah,
you don't always have to reinvent the wheel, but and then that being said, someone else comes along and just like Aphex Twin or someone, and they just they're just a whole new thing, and you can't manufacture that. That just happens. So like, if that's not you, then it doesn't matter. Just make stuff. Make stuff
it's
simple that you think other people might dig. That's all there is.
If you love Square Pusher, but you don't have the ability to replicate a sound like Square Pusher, that's okay. You don't have to be Square Pusher to love
beats.
Square Pusher.
Make beats.
That's right.
Make beats and be happy.
I was listening. I've been listening to Square Pusher the last couple of days, kind of in anticipation of talking about music and getting into some bass talk and
Oh, I love Square Pusher.
yeah. What and so like this sound, like the bass, like I know you mentioned or I was watching your Twitch stream. You do have a Twitch stream. Can you drop that link for us so that?
Oh, sure. I'm Purz Beats on everything, so it's.
Oh, right. You can just check the channel that you're commenting from. But you had a wicked drum and bass mix going on in the background, and I was like, "Oh man, this is." I'm tuned into this guy. This guy knows what's going on. This is my dude.
Yeah, my friend and I used to be jungle drum and bass DJs back in the day.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it, man. It's a lifelong love for me.
Was your DJ name Purz?
No, no, we were Segfault.
Segfault.
Yeah, you can look us up on SoundCloud. We have a very filthy dance hall dubstep album available. Only on SoundCloud. And I think it's from 2004.
Oh, yeah.
2005. It's very vintage.
Yes. Hell yeah. That's crazy that 2004 or 5 is vintage, but it totally is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I used to
life takes you in many directions.
It does. It does. That's like a reoccurring theme, I think, here is like talking about like all the different lives we live in a lifetime. Because yeah, I have some roots in that scene as well. Drum and bass, jungle DJing.
Nice.
And yeah, I remember going to, like, I was very much like punk rock metal kid skater, and my punk rock friends were like, we're going to a rave. I'm like, what's that? And they're like, it's just this cool thing that we're going to, underground warehouse thing. I'm like, all right, sneak out of the house with a friend, get in their car, get dropped off. And it was like a mix of like Candy Kids and neon stuff and punk rockers and freaking Adidas tracksuits. I don't know what, but Everything changed. And I remember going outside, and it was in Vegas. There was a place called the Candy Factory, and it was this little warehouse in the industrial area, and it was the backyard had train tracks going by it. So every night that there was a party there, a train would eventually go by at like 2 or 3 in the morning. And the little jungle room was always out there. And I remember the first time stepping out there and hearing like sub bass and like just like there's drums going. I'm just like, what is this? Whoa. This is like the cool energy of like all the metal I love. And at the same time, like it's got like this funky soul to it that's fun and dancey. And yeah, my life was forever changed. Yeah.
That's like that's kind of what happened with me with like live visuals. As I was at this rave at a dirty wood shop in Toronto, which is just dangerous to begin with. There's like bandsaws and shit everywhere. But anyway, one of the performers, and I'm just like, I'm blanking on the name, and it's making me crazy because it's so inspirational for me. Like one of my like first like visual like somebody who really changed it for me. I'll try and remember the name. It'll come to me later, maybe. Richard Tassman. Oh man, Richard Tassman.
Nice.
Yeah, Richard Tassman. Tassman Richardson. That's his name. Tassman Richardson. I'll try and look up a video of his. But anyway, they were doing stuff where they had like I think it was using D-Edit or something back in the day, or the D-Clip, where they were like cutting and pasting sections of videos to drum beats. So there would be like these like insanely fast like breakcore visuals like projected on the wall, like everyone's on drugs, and it's just like Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla destroying Tokyo with like all these explosions and like just like so fast, like it just like it just opened up what was possible with visuals. You just sort of go like, okay.
Right.
Yeah, and we were just like, I was enthralled the whole night. And then he did a bunch of different mashups, like going back to Cali, like the song, but also Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. The the Calamari guy, and like it was just like it just said all these wild connections, and just it's so cool. And
right.
so I take a lot of inspiration from that too. But I only get to use copyrighted material in my live shows. I don't do it on the internet very much because
right.
Stuff gets taken down very fast.
Yeah, exactly. Man, that's so cool. Yeah, it's that sounds really cool.
That actually brings me to another band I forgot to mention, because we haven't played since the pandemic. But another band I'm in is called Screen Gazer. And we're called that because we started by projecting videos on the wall and just live scoring them. So like stuff from movies and like scenes. So a bunch of the people in that band, they're all kids from a local jazz college and me somehow. So I just try to hang on basically. But it's super fun and expressive, and really like playing with them. But that's another thing of just like trying to tie the visuals to the music. It's like live scoring footage is really fun. Improvisationally live scoring footage.
Yeah, because there's some like I mean, I think that goes, I mean, probably, Pink Floyd with Wizard of Oz, like that kind of like, random happenstance or whatever it is.
Totally.
And seeing that kind of stuff happen, to be able to do that live would be cool, or even see it live. Because now I'm picturing there's a few like old black and white silent horror films that I love, and that would be a fun experiment to just like play them and like play some weird synths along with them, even just here in the house. Like, that'd be a lot of fun. So I look forward to you guys getting the chance to get back together, and
me too.
Checking that out, man. That's awesome. With just jumping back to this video, I mentioned it's like super monochrome, but I noticed that there's like these pops of color, and that really accentuate like kind of that growing feeling of, I don't know. You mentioned now that you've got like alien, thing.
I've always got this underlying cosmic horror thing going on, where it's just like something's wrong.
Right.
I like that gloomy, Lovecraftian, creepy. It's there, but it's not there thing.
Right. It only sleeps. It's just dormant.
It is, but it's there.
But it's there. Yeah. That's awesome. Cool. Let's talk a little bit about one of your series. Now I have this series up, but if this goes into an if this kind of explains like some of that process of being able to start with something that you made a while ago and kind of curate, that would be cool. If this does that, then I'd love to talk about this. If not, maybe we could talk about a different piece, and then come back to this. Or
sure, no, this is great because pixel spheres are a direct extension of the texture stuff I've been doing with because like we were talking about in the other video, dragging textures across a checker pattern gave me a pixelated look. So using that and then dividing that into two other textures being dragged across each other makes these pixel spheres. So you're totally right. It is extrapolating ideas upon ideas, breaking out workflows and trying to find new ways to use them. So all that, it happened is I'd made a sphere and threw the texture on it, and it was looking good. And then I just did some stuff with effects nodes, which is a Blender add-on. And I can't recommend enough for anyone who's into textures and stuff. To sphericalize, spherulate the vectors, sphere. Spheralize.
I like all of them.
Yeah, they're all
I
pretty great. Make the vectors spherical. Essentially, make the pixels
Okay.
spherical. So yeah, orbify. That's good.
There you go.
Yeah, orbify. So by doing that, it sort of gives them almost like rings of pixels down the thing. And then someone else said they reminded them of the marbles you get as a kid. So I tried to make those sort of marbly. You know, when you look inside a marble, they have those textures, but almost like on a screen around the ball. So
Right. Orbify was mentioned in the chat. Spherify.
Cyber marbles.
Cyber marbles. Yeah, that's what's up. When you're using Blender, I noticed, at least in your live stream, that you're also doing some coding, it seemed like.
No, usually that's just me bouncing renders because it's faster to do it headless.
Okay, I got
so
you.
if you see code, it's usually me just bouncing something offline, so I don't have to engage the GPU to render.
I gotcha.
Or show it to me essentially.
Because you can do that, right? In Blender,
you can, yeah, absolutely. There's actually a nice little add-on that does a front end for the batch scripting, so you could like do a whole folder of renders and just let it go overnight, and it'll put them all the renders in the right folders and stuff. Forget what it's called, but I haven't got to that level yet. I still render everything as I go and sort of curate it and
right.
That's garbage and move on.
Yeah. So you kind of you go through each one of these and kind of have a similar process where you're doing different layers and stuff, or are they all very different? Are you approaching each of these spheres very differently, or?
No, I'll work on a series and I'll just start working with different textures and all in the same sort of series, so they all maintain the same look and feel. Because if I go back to stuff, something in Blender will have changed, or it's a new version of Blender and the lighting is different, and then it's like, oh, these don't look like the other ones. Like I like my stuff to be very like consistent if I can. So I'll try to make a series when I make it and then release it and then move on. So yeah, like these the deco spheres underneath the pixel spheres, that was my first foray into vector displacement in Blender, which is like taking a sphere and using math to displace the sort of the shape of it.
Yeah.
And then that grew into a whole series on OpenSea called Vector Spheres. And so, yeah, like all this stuff iterates into other projects. So if you can harness your ADD, you can make a lot of stuff.
Right. Are you, you mentioned math, so I have to ask.
No, I know no math at all.
Okay.
This is me plugging things in and tweaking stuff until it looks good. I know what math feels like. So like, I know when I add or subtract or divide or multiply or like some of the functions, I have an idea in my soul what that means, but I don't know what I'm doing. Like, don't worry about the math. Just
okay. So if you're getting if you're intimidated by math,
divided in some way, right? Like you can see it. I think that's a modulo. But the point is, like, once you start using this stuff, don't be scared of it. Just use it and look at it, and it'll start to make sense. The math will like make sense on this sort of other level. You don't have to understand what's going on at all, because I don't know math even a little bit. Right.
So through repetition and experimentation, you're getting a good general idea of what to tweak and where.
And what things do and how they affect other things.
Right. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Good to know,
what Christiana said there, the getting the consistent visual feedback, because this hasn't been possible for me until Cycles X came out, which is like a faster render engine for Cycles. And being able to see what I'm doing basically in real time is a game changer, because before you'd have to edit something and then wait and then see it come up. And that for me killed it, because I couldn't see what was happening. I could only see the result. But now that you can see, okay, well, this makes like a whole bunch of plates come out of it like that. It's like, I wonder why. and then you think about what two textures are being divided into each other or whatever. Yeah, it's like you start to see what the patterns look like and how the frequency and the sort of angles and stuff make all the difference in the world and how they react, because you can actually like move it and see it.
Right. So yeah, so if you're getting into any even coding and stuff, you don't have to be good at math to be able to get results. Just experiment away.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what's something really neat with kind of generative coding, and even just no code generative art, is being able to see the results of what you're doing, as opposed to just kind of having. I guess it's what we've been talking about this whole time. It's that
like making a folder and then looking through them. I mean, that's cool too. It's another kind of generative. Like, I've got a good friend who releases on Hicket Nunk, Paulrus Walrus, and his stuff's all generative. He'll make a folder. Like he'll design the thing, make a folder, and then pick sort of the right frame, and he picks the right frame every time. It's just like beautiful stuff, and it's processing and like it's code, but it's not, because he's making it. And that's something I always want to try to, like, when people say generative is it's mechanical, it's not. There's a human driving that thing. So absolutely. Like generative is just as human. It's just a different just another workflow, another tool in the toolbox.
Right. Drums are mechanical, but when you put sticks in a human's hands, they become something else.
Definitely.
You're programming on drums. It's just a different type of programming, different kind of machine. I love this marble right here. It's like calico, 70s houndstooth.
Yeah.
I love it. Jupiter.
It's like wood paneling. Like the 70s basement.
Totally. Slink HD says Purz. Yeah, I make balls for a living.
That's true.
Keep the ball rolling. That's
right.
That's the point. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, these are beautiful. All of these are really cool. It would be fun to, it just popped into my head, but it would be neat to do like those, those marble runs. Have you seen those?
Oh, yeah.
Be able to have like your collection of Purz marbles.
That's a good idea.
And do some marble runs.
I might make an animation. Good call.
Yes.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Absolutely.
I'm learning Houdini, so that might be a good excuse to try and figure out the physics in there.
Okay, Houdini, refresh my memory. I remember hearing about Houdini, but it's been a while since I heard. Is that a video?
It's a 3D software, kind of like Blender, but more based on like simulations and higher level processing. So Houdini's got a node based code system basically. So it's like you do all of your stuff in these node trees that you can use code in to like assign variables and stuff. Yeah, it's like Blender's node system, but like completely expanded into the whole guts of the entire engine. So I'm just started learning it, so I don't really have enough to go by yet, but the few tutorials I've done, the amount of power in Houdini is just wild compared to like the way Blender works for things like simulations and working with meshes and things like that. But like, it all depends on what you're doing. Blender's great for shading and making stuff look good and modeling and sculpting. So everything has its sort of place, but been having a lot of fun in Houdini recently with simulations as far as like inflating meshes and like making things fall apart and just all that fun gooey stuff you can do with a really high powered 3D engine. Blender you can't do it, but it takes forever basically.
Right. Do you have Another track I could play. I just had the one queued up. If you have an object number.
I have a YouTube video.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
I'll send you the link in 1 second. And there it is.
Perfect.
So I recorded and mixed and mastered and produced this track, and we recorded it at recorded the video at my friend's studio. This is my live hip hop band.
Oh, excellent. And it's Hustle or Trace Motivate, you said?
He's the MC, yeah.
Oh,
He's the RMC, and it's Hustle is the name of the group.
Perfect. All right, I'll blow this up. Make sure the audio is working. Okay, I know how to fix it this time.
Nice.
Oh, there we go. Let's play this real quick. Oh, come on now. There we go. Perfect. All right. Man, we just keep getting lots of spam. We're starting to get. Gonna have to get a moderator in here. Yeah, right. We're making it big time. But if we want to make it even bigger, we can now buy followers. So that's gonna be fun.
That definitely won't bring more spam.
Yeah, no, definitely not. All right, let's check this track out. This is On My Way, and this is your live hip hop band.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Send me a dance. I'm on my way. Wait for me if you can. Say in advance. Send me a dance. I'm on my way. Wait for me if you can. I'ma say in advance. Would you send me a dance? I'm on my way. Wait for me. A billion stars sprinkled in the sky, yet the brightest one in front of me looked like the look of love. It might have been a twinkle in my eye. I don't want to spell it out. Bound to take an L, saying the L word. Spellbound, I could tell now if I tell her. I'm under one and wonder if I'll ever get over it. Only if she oblivious and don't even notice it. Being open can open you up to failure. In the eyes of the beholder, I'm older, getting wiser. Tell her how I feel, but I feel that I can show her better. Get to know her better. Can't let her go if I never get her. But if I never get her, then I'll never let it go. Say in advance, say me a dance. I'm on my way, wait for me. Say in advance, say me a dance. I'm on my way, wait for me if you can. Say in advance, say me a dance. I'm on my way, wait for me. Two-step before we step away. Within the rhythm, a heartbeat, a heartbreak. Break beat, take apart what the heart say. Beats per minute, we deserve what we permitted. Should've learned from the nervous system. I'm speaking like it's both of us. There I go again, trying to open up. Dance floor, solo strut like no one's looking. Eyes closed, opening up, knowing I shouldn't. Two steps, circle and spin. Brand new shirt with the shoes working them in. Say in advance, would you say me a dance? No, I'm on my way, wait for me if you can. I'ma say in advance, would you say me a dance? No, I'm on my way. way, wait for me if you can. I'ma say in advance, would you say me a dance? No, I'm on my way, wait for me if you can. I'ma say in advance, would you say me a dance? I'm on my way, wait for me if you can. Say in advance, say me a dance. I'm on my way, wait for me if you can. I'ma say in advance, would you say me a dance? Just know I'm on my way, wait for me.
Whew. Man, that was dope.
Thanks.
Soulful.
Thanks. Yeah. I miss playing with those guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was something else. I like his flow alongside the beats and it's just super chill. Yeah, man. It's always cool to see the diversity too, going from kind of like your EDM project and then seeing something kind of more live like that. It's neat.
Yeah, I'll be like everything, and like the Screen Gazer stuff's just like crazy ass fusion jazz. So it's like, I don't know, whatever tickles my fancy. That's what we're gonna make.
Right. Did you when you studied, or when you I guess when you studied drumming, were you studying jazz drum or I had a really great drum teacher who just like gave me the just a really good core understanding of my fundamentals, but also like what it means to be a drummer in a band, which is something I've noticed a lot of drum teachers actually teach drummers. It's like he taught me about pocket, because he was a bass player and a guitar player also, and keyboard player, multi-instrumentalist. So after he got me with the basics down, we would just jam maybe 2 drums or drums and bass, and he'd just be like, well, we'd be jamming or whatever, and he'd just be like, what are you doing? And you'd be like, what? And he's like, why? Like, just hold it down, man. Like, and then he'd always say this stuff like Steve Gadd was just like, was it fills are for thrills, but pocket pays the bills. It's just play the song, man. Like, right. He's like, I already know you can play crazy stuff. It doesn't matter. Just play the song. And that kind of stuff, that it makes you such a sought after drummer, because people are like, if you can embody the song and get inside it and say like, this is what the song needs, not what I need. Right. That is like, you can play any session with anyone, because the hardest thing is separating the ego from the playing, and my teacher kicked the shit out of my ego. It was awesome. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
That's like the role of a good mentor right there. It's like to be able to know your strengths, show you your strengths, but also bring you down to where keep your,
that stuff's cute, but nobody wants to hear it. Save it for the practice room, like
right
here, Yeah, he was right, and that stuff served me my whole drumming career. It's like I love doing session work, because like it's about, you're all making a piece of art together. It's not the the show, the drummer show or the guitar player show, unless it is, in which case they're probably paying for it, so who cares?
That's right. Sane Genre in the chat says super chill, love working to that kind of stuff.
Right on.
And he also said don't buy followers, but do follow buyers. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, super chill, very very cool. You have another profile, the Purz 800 by 80.
Yeah.
Now I've been seeing more and more of this. I see it pop up here and there. Where what's going on with this 800 by 80, or this kind of stretched out banner look?
Do you know ARC4G on Twitter?
I don't.
ARC4G. Let me double check that before make sure I don't send you to a porn account or something. Yeah, at arc4g. I'll just drop it in the thing. So him and someone else started it. Essentially it was just like working in this weird little tiny resolution, 800 by 80. It's it's 8 by 1 essentially, or 10 by 1. I can see math, and I don't know math at all. It's 10-to-1 ratio, so it's like super long and super short. And I just got obsessed with it and started making a bunch of them. So I've just been releasing this collection of 800 by 80s. And I don't know, they look really cute all stacked together when on the screen too. That's why
right.
I released one on my account, but I didn't like the way it looked mixed in with the other ones. So I decided to just make an account for them and just keep popping them out as I do them. So yeah, keep checking back there for some fun little 800 by 80s if that's your bag. But I like experimenting in weird resolutions. It's fun.
Klaatu says they use it in mobile ads as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
That size, which that's a good point. I've been curious. I've been really wanting to see more wallets start embracing kind of artists and templates, like being able to say like open up Temple wallet in the browser and be able to put my Purz skin on it, because I own that NFT, or stuff like that. I'd love to see more of
That's cool.
that kind of integration. It would be super neat. Or just like screensaver stuff or whatever.
Yeah, like your feed.
Yeah. But yeah, these are great because they are like little snippets of kind of what you've got going on already, and they do stack well, like you said.
Yeah, they just look cool because they made a website 800 by 800x80 art, and they basically every time you post one with the hashtag, it just gets sucked into this website. So it basically just sits and runs.
Yeah.
And so I was doing a bunch of those, and then I thought, I'll just make a collection of them as well, so anyone else can put them in their in their gallery. It'd be cool if we could stack them in like on-site galleries and stuff, but right now they just take up an entire space.
Yeah. I know they're gonna have to like come up with like a special gallery for 800 by 80.
I think there needs to be a gallery killer, like a really good NFT gallery mobile app. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge to anyone who can do that sort of thing. Because you know what I mean? If I had like an Animal Crossing kind of like museum,
right,
with all my pieces, like even if it's that like that game style where you walk up and hit the button and then it comes up big, like I don't know. There's a lot of space right now for a good gallery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cyber's cool, but we need something.
Yeah, agreed.
More than one something too. Lots of different things.
Agreed. Now, oh man, I gotta mention like the where. Hold on, let me get it out here. You've got some neon pieces that I just freaking love. And this like look, I can't get enough of it. So I wanted to ask you kind of about, because this seems like a kind of series, the Neon Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
I love 80s malls. Have you ever seen the movie Chopping Mall?
You know what? I haven't, but I know about it.
Yeah. So the Chopping Mall, the mall in Stranger Things, they really went with the neon and so I love these sort of like, it looks like the whole world's built out of like the materials they were supposed to use to build those malls.
Right, right.
So that's sort of the whole point behind Neon Dreams. Is it's like manufactured nostalgia. Like there's something in this that brings you back, but you don't know what to.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's man, I'm having a hard time here. Let's see this. I wanted to get one of the ones that was moving around a little bit more there. Yeah, because that whole series is that something that you kind of had like in one piece, and then you were like, I got a riff on this and wanted to do more of? Okay.
Yeah, it's a workflow I developed using the Arendelle toolkit on for geometry nodes for doing all the sort of the escalating spirographs. So if you like, think about it, they're basically just like large. I don't know how to describe them. They're like large sort of spirals that go inward. And this is a different thing with the same sort of materials, but yeah, this is basically using geometry nodes to generate a bunch of overlapping, intersecting meshes, and then giving all those meshes different properties so that they look like, you know, they do.
Right.
And then figuring out ways to make them look cool. Math.
Yeah, exactly. Spoo says, I want to see more people embrace and create for other things than just profile pictures, like Let's Glitch It does with glitch banners.
Yeah, I'm actually part of Let's Glitch It's glitch banners. Wow, that's hard to say. Without saying it the other way. But I haven't released any yet because I'm lazy and stupid. So I'm going to do that very quickly. Try to bang those out quick because I love everything that Dania does, and she's a pillar of the community, and you should follow her absolutely if you don't. And Empress Trash and Wondermundo and everyone else in Fam Jam and that whole community is just amazing. So follow everybody.
I'm gonna have to check more of that out. I don't think I've really checked out Let's Glitch It either. So.
Oh yeah, got to do that.
I'll have to. Do that. I'll wait for your collection to drop. So that's your motivation there. I'll check out Let's Glitch It when you release your stuff on there.
Fair enough. Kick me in the butt to do it.
There we go. Yeah, these are. Whoa, there's music there. Nice. That's pretty sweet there. Cyber Eye is always on.
Always.
So what are you working on next? Like, or what's kind of in the pipeline? What's
right now? I'm doing,
or what are you excited about?
I just started doing these little hexagonal landscapes, generated hexagonal landscape. I'm a majiggies. I don't know if I have anything. So I can pull up a photo real quickly.
Yeah.
Send it to you. So it's another Arendelle thing. Arendelle tutorials on YouTube. Geometry nodes tutorial using the new Fields engine in Blender. I've just been taking it and running with it and trying to expand upon what Aaron built, and try to understand sort of how they did what they did and how I can build on it, because like I'm okay with geometry nodes, but I'm really only really good at editing other people's geometry nodes yet. You know how that sort of cycle happens. You can edit code and then suddenly you can start to write it or whatever. It's I'm at the editing and playing with stage right now. But
Sure.
This one this stuff is cool because I followed Aaron's tutorial and built it from the ground up instead of just using the toolkit grid thing. So that's helped me sort of understand how geometry nodes interacts with the meshes in 3D space. So it's been very the math is humbling because you feel very dumb when you don't know what they're talking about, but then as you see it sort of work, it starts to make sense, at least on a very basic tangential level.
Right. Right.
So
I hear that. I'm in the middle of this course for Python, and it's like a never-ending journey. But I'm in this portion of the course where it's learning about like plotting, and it's similar to processing. I've done a little bit of stuff in processing, but more for charts. But I mean, some of the course is written by a mathematician or a professor that teaches math and engineering, and it's like some of the like the way he explains it is from the perspective of somebody that kind of knows this stuff already. So it's taken me a lot of going over it again and again and being like, okay, like I get that X and Y make a point, but I don't exactly understand how I'm supposed to get there, or how to replicate this exact thing. I definitely have those moments of just feeling real dumb. And but when I break through and I can get something, it feels so good. So
or
it's
at least
worth
you figure out how to use the formula, even if you don't understand it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's right.
I love the surface level understanding. Feels so good.
It does. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, so right now I'm trying to figure out how to sort of spawn those little trees and spawn other things and that. But yeah, just building the little, hexagonal worlds, it's really fun because it's all driven by a texture. So all you have to do is move the texture and you've got a whole new setup.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I look forward to seeing those and seeing what you do with that.
Work on a little collection of these little guys, see what happens.
Absolutely.
Remind me of those Polly Pockets from the 90s.
Oh, yeah, right.
Cute little doll houses or something.
I have Hot Pocket song stuck in my head, but I'm putting Polly Pockets on it. And this kind of also, it's like Qbert or Marble Madness. Do you remember Marble Madness?
I love Marble Madness. You know what? Maybe I should put the Pixel Spheres in here.
Yep.
Like a Marble Madness thing. That's a really good idea.
It's all coming together.
Oh man, that's brilliant.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, good call.
Man, there's a little video.
We know those collab contracts now.
That's right. Oh man, I can't wait for that to come out. I've got some ideas I'm excited about. Spoo says Polly Hot Pockets. There you go.
Polly Hot Pockets.
Oh man. Oh, that's great. Let's see. So this is so different from a lot of the other stuff.
So Aaron Dale, who makes the geometry nodes tools, the toolkit that I'm always tweeting about.
Yeah.
Added a Purz node to the node tree, and this is what the Purz node does.
Really?
It creates these insanely weird Lovecraftian cosmic horror raycasted platforms connected by cables / entrails.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've been playing with that a little bit, and I want to do a whole series of these, sculptures, because they're just like so otherworldly.
Yeah.
It's just geometry in light intersecting with each other and then making these weird. I try not to understand the math because it hurts my brain, but it's really cool. The results are fun.
Yeah, and it would be. I mean, and I think a lot of the allure of like VR headsets and stuff is being able to kind of explore like pieces of art like this, like a little closer up, or being able to be a small little person in
the scale
inside of this giant piece. And yeah, I think that's kind of one of the the neat things about VR. I saw. I don't know if you've seen that Iceland verse parody. So Iceland has like some pretty awesome tourism ads that are pretty hilarious. And you know what? I think I don't know. I don't feel bad about sharing that because I think it's great, especially amidst all the metaverse talk of late. And the Heniverse, Metaverse, Facebook nuttiness. Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. So I just want to share it with everybody because it's just funny. So I know it's a little off topic, but it's just great. So here we go.
Hi, and welcome to this very natural setting. Today, I want to talk about a revolutionary approach on how to connect our world without being super weird. Some said it's not possible. Some said it's out of reach. To them, we say it's already here. Seriously, look, it's right here. And what do we call this not so new chapter in human connectivity? The Iceland verse. Enhanced actual reality without silly looking headsets. In our open world experience, everything is real. And has been for millions of years. It's completely immersive, with water that's wet. With humans to connect with. You're human, right?
Yes.
Isn't she funny? In the Iceland verse, there's real moss you can look at, but please don't touch. It's very delicate. Skies you can see with your eyeballs. Volcanic rocks you can caress. Really big geysers you can observe from a safe distance. Birds you can watch. They're really cute, but a bit stupid. Waterfalls you can stand near, like this one, that one, this one, that one, and even this one. Horses you can ride, with hair you can touch. The Iceland verse is a world with possibilities so endless, they'll be here forever. So join us today, or tomorrow, or whenever. We are really easygoing. Now, please enjoy our logo.
So good.
So good. Yeah, it just made me happy. Sold. Somebody try new media said sold.
I've been to the Iceland. I've been to Iceland twice, but I've never been out of the airport.
Oh man.
This is just connecting flights on I forget the name of the airline. Anyway, it's gone now. But yeah, we used to get to Europe by bouncing through Iceland, but you'd never get to leave the Reykjavik airport.
Right. Yeah, it's that's part of the Iceland verse is the airport. So you've experienced the metaverse.
Just the threshold.
That's right. There was.
I swear though, flying in over Iceland, it looks like the surface of Venus or something.
Really?
Like the just the way the land looks, it's so cool. Like if you look at a photo of the like sort of, I don't know if they call it tundra. We call it tundra here, but it's sort of where it's just like the barren sort of land. It looks crazy. Iceland has like very interesting soil and rocks, and just looks like another planet.
Yeah. I remember there were flights that like they included a stopover in Iceland. I don't know if it's the same thing, but
Probably is, yeah.
that was like the big selling point, was like you could go to Europe and stop in Iceland too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Spend $65 American on a piece of pizza.
right? Jeez. Airports. Ugh.
Airports.
Ugh.
I haven't had that problem for a while. I haven't traveled anywhere.
Yeah, right? Yeah, me neither. Oh, I love this piece. I'm a sucker for monochrome. I'm a sucker for geometry, even though I don't understand it from a math point of view. But man, like some of these just like, it's so satisfying. It's I forget what do they call it? Like ASMR or something like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Just they everything fits together so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Raider says we should do a collab, Purz. Yeah, Raider's got some good, some fantastic monochrome, beautiful pieces that have that same quality to them for sure.
Sweet. Yeah, hit me up on Twitter.
Hell yeah! Oh, that's so good. Is there sound to this one? Just
no,
curious.
those are silent.
I always got to check. Oh, it even says silent running.
Oh, yeah.
Oxygen reserves are depleted, but the stasis pods remain functional in transmission.
I tried to put a little story narrative throughout each piece, and it's basically just the plot of Among Us.
Okay. Nice. Little Easter eggs in every
Little Easter eggs, yeah.
That's right.
I guess they're not Easter eggs if you just blurt them out.
Right. And I wanted to so in the chat, if you're hanging out, go ahead and drop your Tez address. Purz was generous enough to mint something really cool for us today, just for the Artcast, and I want to share this and talk about it a little bit. Mint Soundwave, so cool, loving it. And it's exactly what it looks like, right? Mint sound waves. Is it a sound wave of anything in particular? I'm curious.
No, it's actually it's not even a sound wave. It just looks like a sound wave.
It's a meta sound wave.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's it's a bunch of stacked layers with some depth of field being displaced, and they look like waveforms to me. So I was like, yeah. All right.
That's awesome. I really appreciate you last minute minting that for us. Really, it's fucking cool. Everybody should have a Purz piece in their wallet. At least one.
Agreed.
Oh man. Yeah, so drop your Tez address. You got some already in here. Perfect. And was there any other projects that you wanted to talk about or mention?
I got one new object collection up now called Monochrome Hallucinations, and it's let me drop the link to that.
Yeah,
I'm just trying out object. There was a lot of backlash towards objects in recent times, so I don't know essentially where to mint right now. So I'm just kind of minting everywhere, and I figure it's all Tezos, and it'll all wash out in the end. And
that's right. As long as it's like FA2 standard, right? And as long as it's, how do you get a Tez address? Try new media. You just have to open up a wallet anywhere. The Hick one, yes. If you have anything minted on Hic et Nunc, or collected on Hicketnunk, then you have a wallet. And it'll either be, so you can see like Spoo, Sane Genre, all have kind of shortened or like special, I guess they're vanity names. They're called different. I just think automatically of license plates, of which we have the most in the United States, in Las Vegas, the most vanity plates. But yeah, check out.
What a cool thing to have the most of.
Yeah, right. Check out Tezos domains, like Spoo says here, and you're able to pretty much collect a vanity name that'll just redirect from your very, very long Tezos address down to a shortened one. So is it a hyperlink? Or I don't know what the technical term for it is.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Redirect.
Redirect. Okay. Yeah. And it's basically, and you kind of rent it, I guess, or you purchase it every year or every few years. Like a domain. Thank you. There. Yeah. Domain. Monochrome hallucinations. Ooh, nice. Oh yeah. These are cool. It's cool that how they kind of like the edges are that like that circle spherical pixelation thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a similar process, but
yeah, pulling the textures across textures and just the math makes them do funny things.
Yeah. That's neat. Yeah. Oh. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, no. And was this born out of just experimentation and stuff?
Yeah, effects nodes started all this. Yeah, and got a bunch more I'll be minting into this series too, so stay tuned.
Yeah. Awesome.
The only
Yeah.
thing I wish is you could get the perfectly looping videos on Hicketnunk and Object. You can't because they take a frame to restart. So you can never get a perfectly looping video on a web player. I hope they fix that someday.
Right.
One of those little things drives me nuts. So I like doing GIFs. I like if the palette is simple enough, I prefer to do a GIF because you get a perfect loop. But video is close.
Right. Oh, these are great. And it's like what's the like Escher-esque when you got like the monochrome and the patterns and everything, like, oh man,
marginally unnerving.
Right. Oh man, these are great. Oh wow. Oh, and there you've got it right there. Satisfying geometric patterns displayed in monochrome palettes. That's absolutely the case. Oh. It was neat. If anybody's watching too, encourage them to tune into your Twitch channel, because not only are you having some really awesome music going on, but it was really cool to watch you build some of these patterns. And
oh yeah, I try to. I haven't been doing it recently, but I'll be getting back into it more. And yeah, I pretty much build all this stuff on Twitch. So if you are curious about the process, or you have questions, just start yammering in my channel, and I will probably take you on a 2-hour tutorial of something, because I'm very distractible. So if you need help, just come ask me a question, and I'll probably.
It was really cool. It was really cool watching you do your thing, and yeah.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, thank you for hanging out. And I just the beats are freaking amazing. Your work is super sick, and I'm so glad that we got a chance to talk to you and hang out.
Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to you too. We've chatted a few times, but only passing in the ether. So it was nice to actually sit down and have a chat.
Absolutely.
Thank you for everything.
No doubt.
Sending the list of people who dropped their names. So yeah, if you don't have a Tezos domain, feel free to drop your wallet, your public wallet address, or you can just I don't know, tweet it at me or something within the next couple hours or whatever, and I'll send you a piece.
Absolutely. And thank you so much again. And let's see if we got a few more here. hicketnut.art/Drays.
I'll get Dre's too. I think I got everybody so far.
Yeah, we're gonna.
And I'll send you one too.
Yes. Perfect. Oh, nice, Drays. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, Dre's helps me with a lot of my 3D problems. He's a talented dude.
Ooh, yeah. I love it. I love meeting new people in the chat too, because I think it's one thing that's really neat about NFTs right now, and just kind of this Tezos space in particular, is that everybody that I'm meeting is either interested in NFTs or is making NFTs. So I'm getting to meet all these creative people and, you know, share what I know if I know anything, and learn a lot from all these different people. So it's really neat. And, you know, one thing, it's like, it feels like it's only just going to get bigger and bigger and more difficult to connect. So it's like having friends in the early stages of life that you'll hopefully know for a long time. And
yeah,
it
definitely feels like the beginning of something.
Yeah, these are great. Awesome. All right. Well, everybody in the chat, thank you for hanging out. And we will nothing's planned at the moment next week. So I think we'll be taking a break. We do have to kind of take a break anyway for to get all of our links back up on the channel. A lot of our links are broken to for the tezos-artcast.xyz. A lot of the images are broken now, so yeah, I gotta get that all fixed and whatnot. So if something pops up, we'll let you know. Otherwise, we will just see you soon. And Purz, again, I really appreciate you hanging out, and thank you again for the beautiful minty mint.
Well, thanks for having me, man. I had a blast.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys, and we will see you guys next time. And be well. Have a good week. Keep it drama-free. Peace, love, art, and NFTs and all that stuff. Later, y'all.